Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, welcome, everybody.
Back. Episode 22, baby.
Wow, you kept count?
I actually hope I'm on the right number.
Yeah, that's what I was like, hold on, that's a risky statement there.
Either way,
you might be shortchanging us.
It's your two faves, Deanne King, Terrence Middlebrooks for Rooted in Progress. How you doing today, Terrence?
Hey, man, I'm great. I'm fantastic. It's Thursday. We're here for another episode of Rooted in Progress. The weather's breaking here, so I'm super excited.
Man.
Yeah.
It messes up your hair, though. I know
How?
you don't have those
I thought the humidity
issues.
messes up your hair.
Well, no, the wind. It's so windy, but it feels so good. I have been asking for this for a while. This is sweater weather. It's cuddle weather.
Ooh.
You know that people call it cuffing season?
Cuffing season.
Cuffing season.
Yeah. It
wow.
actually runs through February 15th.
Straight through Valentine's Day.
Straight through Valentine's.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
y'all.
gonna leave it right there.
We're gonna leave it right there. We're gonna leave it right there.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate y'all joining us. If you're joining us live, either way, y'all know we're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. live on the WFLA Facebook page and live on the WFLA app. Make sure y'all follow us,
Please.
like, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Come on, man. We're not gonna beg you.
Instagram, Twitter,
Please,
Facebook.
follow us, subscribe,
On your mama's Facebook.
comment.
All of them. Let's
Join
get to
us.
our guest. We have a good one. I am so excited about this episode. I'm excited to learn more about this incredible man who has done so much throughout our community for so long. None other than St. Petersburg's newest fire chief. We got Chief Keith Watts in the building. Yes. How you doing, Chief?
Yeah, we got you, Chief.
You see us, we got you.
I know.
We got you, Chief. We got you, Chief.
Hello. I am doing fantastic.
We are so happy to have you here.
Yes.
So happy. First of all,
you here.
congratulations. Congratulations on the new role.
Thank you.
And I feel we really want to get to know you. You know what I mean? And because I feel like sometimes when you have officials who become officials and you've known them, but you didn't really know them, and they get an even bigger title, and it's like, wait a minute, I want to know more.
Absolutely.
I want to know more. We've already been getting to know them. We've been talking about mac and cheese. We've talked about roller skating. We've been talking about so many things before going live. So I cannot wait to dive in. So Chief Watts, just tell us about you. Born and raised in Savannah. What was life like for you growing up?
So I was born and raised in Savannah, Georgia. I grew up in East Savannah. My mother lived in East Savannah. My dad lived in West Savannah. So my parents were, they were not together. But my mom would take me to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My dad would pick me up Friday after school. I'd spend the weekend at his house, and then he'd take me back to school on Monday. And then we continued that cycle. I am my mother's only child, but I am my father's seventh.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Come on, Papa.
Yeah,
South Georgia roots.
Yeah.
South Georgia roots.
Yeah, that's how they rolled back in the day. Some of them, anyway. But I grew up in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Had a pretty normal life for a young black male growing up in Savannah. There were some challenges that ultimately led me to move to Orlando.
Okay.
So growing up, my family's fairly small. So Savannah has a lot of industries, and it's changed over the years. So obviously it's changed now from where it was.
What it used to be, absolutely.
What it used to be, right? Because people now say Savannah's a great town, and it truly is. But back then, for me growing up, I knew I had to get out of Savannah in order to have, job and career opportunities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
So because...
What did you think would at least hold you back in that town?
So my family's small. We didn't know a lot of people in some of the industries. So what I say is that we didn't have the complexion for those types of connections, right?
Ooh.
So
that's good.
So
it's not good, but
yes,
I know what you mean.
That's what it was,
yeah.
right? So I reached out to my aunt who lived in Orlando. She sent me the want ads. I don't know if you all are familiar with the want
Maybe
ads.
Terrence.
But the want ads for Orlando was bigger than Savannah's whole paper.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So I left shortly thereafter. I did not know that I left on Mother's Day until years later. My mom told me.
Wow.
She said she cried her eyes
Oh,
out.
man.
But, you know, I didn't know. It was like Saturday night and
Yeah.
Mother's Day was that Sunday.
Yeah.
So I got to Orlando that Sunday. One of my first jobs in Orlando was at Eastern Airlines.
Okay.
Again, you might not know about Eastern Airlines, but they used to be a very reputable airline carrier.
Okay.
So I would see full-time firefighters coming to work as skycaps in their uniforms, in their firefighter uniforms. And they would change clothes and put on their skycap, Eastern Airlines skycap uniforms and go to work part-time. And they would always say, hey, come here, let me talk to you. One day you're going to have a family. One day you're going to have kids. You're going to need benefits. And, it took several approaches for them to finally get to me because it wasn't something that I wanted to do. My comments then were, who wants to run into a burning building when everybody's running out?
Is running out.
So that's pretty cliche, and you hear that a lot. But that was really my thought.
Right.
So the short of it is, after a couple of approaches, they took me by the hand, took me to the fire academy. I signed up, and here I am 31 years later.
Wow. How old were you then?
I was 22 at the time.
So how long have you, or when did you decide that that's the route you wanted to go? Was that something as a kid? Because as a young boy, we all dream of being a police officer.
It was them constantly coming saying, "You better come over here."
Yes, because we got
They
word.
inspired you.
They inspired me, and we got word that Eastern Airlines was going to go under.
Oh,
they were
okay.
going bankrupt. So, when you're looking at, hey, this is your livelihood, you're going to lose this. What other options are there? And they took me and assured me that I would receive the proper training.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never had any aspirations of being a firefighter growing up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As a kid, I used to walk past firehouses, and I would see the guys out there, but I never saw anyone that looked like me. Nobody never invited me in. I just kept walking, right? So again, here I am some 30 plus years later, sitting in this position because I saw visually something that I could become.
Wow. Yeah. That's powerful.
That's awesome.
And to have experienced what you experienced, not only in Savannah, but then in Orlando, not even seeing people who looked like you. And now you're breaking barriers.
Yes.
And now a little Keith over in St. Pete can say, I've seen someone who looks like me and he's a top guy. I can do it. That is so inspiring. I feel like, did you ever feel like when you were trying to figure out, do I really want to do this? What was the biggest thing like you were struggling with, that you were tussling with in your mind?
Again, I wanted to make sure that I had the right amount of training for it. I do have an ego, right?
Well,
so,
we all do.
So, but not that type of ego. So I like to express my goals out loud, right? Ego. EGO, express my goals out loud. So I used to hear my dad, and he would give himself positive confirmations a lot, right? And he would say to himself, "You got this. You can do this. Whatever the case is." And so that's what I did. So I was always confident that I could do it. I just needed somebody to kind of help guide me to that first step.
Okay, well, good for you. So you get into the academy. Is there any is there a wild story that happened while you were in the academy where you had a moment of pause, like, do I really want to do this?
So what I will tell you is that the fire department that I'm currently leading, we have a cadet program for non-certified people. So we'll get into that, I'm sure, at some point a little bit later. But I initially failed my first time in a fire academy.
Wow.
I failed because the fire academy, you can fail 2 tests, and if you fail this, you can fail a test, and if you fail the makeup, then you're automatically withdrawn.
Okay.
So because I was trying to work full time and go to school full time, it was too much on my plate, and I'll never forget the look on, the instructor's face. And he didn't. He was an instructor. He had no vested interest in me. So he was like, hey, we got to let you go. And that was it.
Oh.
So I remember calling my mom and dad and trying to, they rearranged some of their funds and everything. And I went back full time, and I was able to work part time because they helped contribute to me going to the fire department. I'm a fire academy.
So,
wow.
Chief, talk about some of the hurdles that you face coming up in this career.
So for me, I've been very fortunate throughout my career. I was a member of the Army National Guard. So when I was in basic training for the Army National Guard, and I got what's called Liberty, where you can call home. So I can remember calling home on a Sunday, and my mom said, hey, Orange County Fire Rescue called for you. They're looking to hire you. And I couldn't go because I had already committed to the military.
Okay.
And I asked her, what did she ask them? Did she ask them to put me on the list for the next time? And they couldn't guarantee it. They said, no, we can't guarantee it. We'll see, hopefully. So as I was finishing up, they called back again. And it just so happens that I was finishing up Army Medical School and finished that Friday, flew in Saturday, and first thing Monday, I was hired with Orange County.
Wow. And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
As it pertains to some of the barriers, what I will tell you again is that I was very fortunate because my first assignment was to a very diverse station. So it wasn't like a typical fire station. Right. It was very diverse.
That's good.
So that was tremendous.
Yeah,
it was tremendous. Now, I was worried whenever I went to other stations on other shifts, and I can remember floating, as we call it, to a station that was on the outlying part of town, and seeing an older Black gentleman, and just my whole body went, there was some relief because there was something that resonated, right?
Yeah.
Now, he stood at the door. He looked at me as I was putting my stuff on his side of the truck and everything, and then he just tapped on the glass and go, other side.
Oh.
But it was a relief to see him,
Yeah. That's important.
It's very important,
That's
right?
so important. I feel like like kids. And when you talk to kids and they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they, you have a lot of kids that say police officers and firefighters. And I was never one. And it was it kind of relates to what you were saying. I couldn't even imagine going into a burning building while everybody else is trying to escape and trying to run out. But it's something that I truly respect to the point where I always wanted to know. Like y'all shifts. I've heard, like it seems crazy. How does that work?
So firefighters typically work a 24-hour shift.
Okay.
There are 3 shifts, A, B, and C shift.
Mm-hmm.
The shift begins at 0800 or 8 a.m. and it ends at 8 a.m. unless you're on a call when the shift ends. Then, of course, if you're out, we call it call. It's an emergency response. If you're on an emergency response at the end of your shift, then obviously you have to stay there, and then you go back to the station. But the day typically starts off with you get passed on from the off-going crew. Mm-hmm. You check your equipment out. There's an apparatus check where you check your fire truck or the unit that you're assigned to. Then there's a huddle up, and the officer goes over the activities of the day. We do at some point talk about lunch and dinner.
That's important.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good firefighters are great cooks.
We are.
True? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I should say they are.
Yeah.
I'm a dishwasher.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm a dishwasher.
It's good to know our place. You know what I mean?
I'm a dishwasher for a reason. I'm a dishwasher for a reason. But yeah, we do tons of training. A lot of training.
Yeah, because it's not like you're fighting a fire every minute of the day.
Right.
You know?
But also,
but then you all respond to car accidents.
Yes. So a little over 80% of the responses that we have are medically related.
Okay, yeah.
Medical related. Car accidents, heart attacks, strokes, things like that. We go to we are what's called an all hazards department.
Right.
You name it, we go to it. We don't say no.
Yeah.
24/7, 365.
We love it. I love the dramatics of it, like on TV. Like they slide down the pole and running, putting the clothes on. Is that an actual task? Do y'all have like a time? I've seen that somewhere.
Yes, there
To
is
get
a
into
time.
uniform?
Yes.
What's the time?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't remember.
So I'm going to ask more of a
He said,
serious
I ain't did
question.
that in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
Chief, I'm going to ask a more serious question. Going back to what you're saying, just having the bravery to run into a burning building.
Yeah.
Like, what drives that? What fuels that? And no matter what the color of that person that you're rescuing, or the backgrounds or whatever that person is, you guys go in with the thought of saving a life. Like, what fuels that? And especially when you get these 3 o'clock fires, these big infernal fires. Like, you guys are just, the bravery there is unmatched. And Deanne and I are both, we were news journalists out in the field, pull up on the car wrecks, pull up on the house fires, and there you guys go running in. Like, where's that motivation? What brings that up,
out?
out? Yeah, absolutely.
What I would say is that it's not for everyone.
Yes,
It certainly
100%.
is not for everyone.
That's for sure.
There's a tremendous amount of training, but I believe for someone like me is that it's a calling.
Yeah.
Right. So when you talk about pastors, they say they received a call, and and you talk about people, but everybody's not called to be a pastor. Some are called to be deacons. Some are called to sing in a choir. Some are called to be ushers. I think firefighting and public safety is a true calling because you have to have compassion for other people. You have to have
real.
empathy for other people.
Yeah.
People call 911 on their worst day.
My
Yeah.
Right.
goodness.
And in spite of how many calls you've run that day, if it's your 18th, 19th, 20th call within that 24-hour period, the public deserves professionalism. They deserve people who are trained. They deserve people who are nice, people who know what they're doing and that can alleviate whatever that situation is, even if it's just temporary.
Wow.
And that's what we do. And the men and women of St. Petersburg do a fantastic job of it every single day. I'm extremely proud of them.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your military background had a lot to add to your training and that, the bravery of you going into these buildings? Do you think that's a lot of that came from your military background?
I would say some of it. A lot of it came from, my parents who instilled hard work, those types of values, communication, dedication, being trustworthy, being leaders. That came from my parents.
Okay.
However, the military, what I learned in the military did play a role because it provided some of that structure, that military structure, chain of command type mentality. So yes, it did.
Let's talk about your tenure here with St. Pete Fire Rescue and some of the incredible things that you have done with St. Pete Fire Rescue. Because I know some folks might say, okay, how did he get the job? Or what has he done in the community and things like that? In fact, I actually have seen one on Facebook, and don't try me because y'all know I will get y'all together in them comments. So what are some of the things that you have done throughout the St. Petersburg area and for our community?
So in my previous experience, when you rose through the ranks, it was required of you to be involved and engaged in the community.
Yeah.
So that is one of my goals for this department. We do a fantastic job already, but there are some additions that I'm going to add to it. But we do a great job. The St. Petersburg Fire Rescue is already deeply engaged in the community. Yeah. There's a lot that we do for the community. We just did Haunted House, which was a tremendous community outreach. I can't take credit for it. It was there before I got there. It'll be there long after I'm gone because it's so successful. But we do. So I did bring one of the initiatives I brought with me was Shop with a Firefighter. So Shop with the Firefighter is an annual event where we provide gift cards to, I want to say that it is a foster care home.
Oh, wow.
We don't advertise it because some of the kids that are there in some
In
type
certain
of
situations.
certain
Yeah, for
situations.
sure.
But I want to say that last year we gave 30 plus children $100 gift cards, and we paired them with the firefighter in uniform.
To go shopping.
And we went shopping.
Wow. That's an experience.
It's a heck of a experience.
Yeah.
So, Chief, let's talk about the importance of having a mentor and role models. Did you have one growing up?
I've had several.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have several that have poured into me at different points throughout my career. And so when I tell people that I'm here because of a purpose, I truly am.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't have any aspirations to be a firefighter or even to be chief. My goal was always to be the best at whatever level I was.
Right.
And so I think when I look back on my life personally and professionally, there were a lot of mentors who kind of said, hey, I mean, I don't know how much time we have, but I can tell you one example is, so I spent, in my previous department, we had 40-something stations, right?
Okay.
Big department.
Well, yeah.
And I spent like 7 years as a driver and lieutenant at that station, and we were very busy. We were the busiest. So I got the opportunity to go to a slower station.
Okay.
So I went to the slow station. We're getting like one call per shift, which is, that's awesome. That's great. And I can remember going on
a lot of downtime then.
A lot of downtime. I can remember going on a call, coming back, and seeing a chief's car in the driveway, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, what do we do?
What's going on? Right. So there was a black fire chief. He was a black division chief at the time, and he said, hey, I need to have a conversation with you. I go, okay, what's going on? So we go in the office, and he's about 6'7", right?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He's 6'7". And he said, a lot of us are leaving, and we need some representation.
Wow.
Hello.
So I start calling out names.
Now, this is Orlando, Orange County, correct?
Orange County.
Okay.
Okay.
So I start calling out names. What about Smith? What about Wilson? What about, because I'm good.
Yeah.
I just came from busy station to now I'm getting
One
paid.
call per shift.
Yeah.
Lots of dishwashing.
Getting paid the same thing, right? And I said, Chief, I mean no disrespect to you, but before you got here, we were about to eat. When you leave, we're going to finish. We already ran that one call per shift, right? And I'm going to sleep all night, go home, and not fall asleep in my driveway like I used to at the other station, right? And he just looked at me. And he said, this is bigger than you.
Wow.
And he said, I expect to see your name on the next battalion chief's test. He stood up, all 6'7", and walked out.
Wow.
I called my wife. I said, he had the nerve to come over here and tell me what
up
I
my
would
dinner.
do, right? Messing up. So, long story short, I didn't get it then.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got to St. Pete. That's when I got it.
Well, yeah. And that's the joy of mentors and having mentors and God's timing, because that seed was planted.
Right.
And we don't ever realize it when that seed is first inserted into the ground and the dirt is covered until we start sprouting. And it's moments like that when you remember what that gentleman and what his purpose was that day.
Right.
And look has what rooted.
Come
Here we
on.
go. Look what's been rooted in the progress of you sitting here today as St. Pete's fire chief.
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
What was that like? When at what moment, if whatever you can share, but how did you find out? Were there rumblings like your name was being tossed around? Did you, or were you already kind of not necessarily being groomed, but were you kind of like next in line? How did you find out?
Nervous, scared
about this?
So when the fire chief retired, so typically there's a process. Usually it goes, the outgoing fire chief will have someone in line, but it wasn't the case this time. So I knew that I had above the minimum qualifications to be the next fire chief, And so it was just up to me to apply myself. And, you know, I prayed about it. I talked to my wife and my family about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, without going into a lot of details, here I am.
Wow. Is it an application process?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
There's an application process. There's an interview process.
Okay.
And then the decision is made, and then the phone call is made, and sometimes meetings, and then that's it.
When that phone call was made, what was going through your mind?
This is really happening.
Yeah.
You know, you've come a long way. You've worked hard, put that work in, right? Training, education, community involvement, certifications, experience, and working at different levels throughout the fire department and just gaining experience.
When you look at, and you bring race into it, right? And like you said, well qualified. Race has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Overly qualified for this position. But then you realize that you will be the first African-American to ever serve in this role. What does that mean to you? And did that come with any added pressure?
So one of the things that I realized, both in my previous department and here, is that I stand on the shoulders of giants, right? I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me, who endured a lot for me to be in this position.
Yeah.
And I get emotional when I talk about it because I've talked to them. I saw them. I heard them. They laid out, you know, some of the challenges that they face. Fortunately, the fire department and the fire service has moved away from that, right?
Right.
And we've gotten a lot better. But I realize that I stand on the shoulders of giants. When going back to, you know, me getting the call and recognizing that I was the first African American, it wasn't my goal to be the first, but it is my goal not to be the last.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
That's a powerful statement.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a powerful statement.
How do you ensure that? What this is all about progress, right? How you're leading the way, right? And how do you ensure and make sure those can follow, that they have that opportunity as well?
Right. So one of the things that I'm known for is getting out and visiting the stations and the crews. They absolutely loved it, right?
It's funny because now your car is the one who pulls up. Remember when that?
That's right. And
Now
I have already had conversations and thought I was going to go to HR because because it didn't quite go the way that
you thought.
That I thought. But no one can never say that I didn't.
Right.
And I do that for all that I think are qualified, right, to fill some of the positions that are going to be forthcoming, right, either due to attrition or people just leaving, going to other jobs.
Yeah.
So I do that for all that I think that are qualified to fill positions. I think mentoring.
For sure.
I think as a leader, ensuring inclusivity at all levels throughout the organization, so that it becomes like a daily thing that we do.
Right.
Like everything has to have a level of inclusivity in it.
Right.
No matter what.
And you realize in spaces when you have a leader, and no matter, I'm talking any arena, any job, right? When you have someone who has that mindset, right? And their mindset is to just spread the inclusivity around, it makes others start to think in ways that they would have never thought before. Right. And I've realized that here. I realized that here. When I joined here, it was two of us. Two Black folks on air. That's it. Out of a staff of on-air folks, and 40 plus.
Ships around the clock.
Right. And there are way more now, and we're able to have platforms like this. We're able to do like massive Black History Month presentations and projects and do all of these things. And I'm realizing even it's some of the stories that I do, right? We have people in the newsroom who have come to me and like, I never thought that we should put this in the newscast and present it like this because you challenge that.
Right.
And it's incredible when you put diversity, when you put inclusion at the forefront, and you actually make it a true initiative, because you do it by showing
Right.
you're the example. You realize the impact that it has on others around you. You ain't even got to say nothing no more.
Absolutely.
It just happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, when you have the support from your boss.
Yep.
and
Let's start there.
When you have the support from your boss and it's underneath the umbrella of one of their initiatives, you're basically in a win-win situation.
Correct.
Right? And it's just helpful. It's impactful for the organization, particularly fire service, to have people that represent the community that they serve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At all levels. Yeah.
That is
And to
for
break
sure.
that down to an elementary level, because there's going to be those folks who are out there right here, right now, that's thinking, oh, because he's black, he's going to go recruit
Hire all the black
another
folk.
black folks. No, it gives an equal opportunity for all.
Right.
Yeah.
To now do what? Now Chief Watts is looking for his predecessor. It's going to be a wide range of candidates, not just a certain race or a certain gender or a certain political party.
Right.
There is fairness now.
Absolutely.
And if that qualified candidate that is going to follow in your footsteps just happen to be black, Asian, Hispanic, white, that's because they are qualified for the job, not because there's that common denominator of skin color.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we fell. I'm gonna keep that to myself, but that's a whole nother show. But Chief, hats off to you, and
Yes.
God bless you, man.
I am so excited to see what you do.
Yes.
Do you have anything in particular, specific goals that you have now that you're the chief?
Well, if I can,
Yeah.
thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Because you are absolutely right. There are some who won't get it.
Yeah.
And as I said, qualified, right? We're looking for qualified people. And again, when I go to stations, I'm talking to some of everybody.
Yeah.
Male and female, black, white. I'm talking to some of everybody who I believe has the potential. But to answer your question, so my goal has always been basically to serve the men and women out there on the front lines, right?
Yeah.
So serve and support them the best way I can. And I think I've done a great job of that, which is probably one of the reasons why I was selected.
Period.
Because I don't forget where I came from.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I'm doing station visits, when I'm in a fire station and we're having discussions at the table and the bell goes off, I'm on the trucks with them going out the door.
Wow.
Even if it means I'm out for an hour or I'll have somebody go get my car and bring it to the scene, and then I'll go back, to headquarters. I typically like to do that a few times a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do it on a regular basis so that
Okay.
when my car pulls up, it's not associated with.
Fear.
Thank you. It's
Come
not
on.
associated with that. It's
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I hold people accountable.
Of course.
And
Right.
sometimes
As you
you
should.
gotta.
He'll pull up and
You
put
have
his
to.
foot down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to. I have to put the 13s down. But for the most part, again, continue to support the men and women who are out there doing it on the front lines every day.
Yeah.
Recruitment is a challenge nationwide for
Right.
the fire service.
Yeah.
I think COVID kind of had
It hit
something to do
so
with
many
that.
people. Yeah.
But focus on recruitment, the growth. I don't know when the last time you've been to St. Petersburg, but it's like many other cities.
It
There's
is.
tremendous growth coming.
So much.
Mini South Beach.
Yes. So getting ahead of that growth that's coming, being innovative, trying to solve old problems with new ideas.
Okay.
Right. And just that's just a couple, just to name.
Yeah. Do you think so? At this point with St. Pete Fire Rescue, are you all down? Because I know you mentioned recruitment. So are you all down staff right now to where you need some more men and women to come out and actually become firefighters and join the force?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are hiring.
And if you want to throw some type of contact information out there for those who are listening who are interested or know someone that's interested, where can they go to apply?
So they can go to our website. It's You put me on the spot with that one.
That's okay.
I think it's
You got it,
fire.stpete.org. Yeah,
Fire.stpete.org.
Y'all hear that?
Fire.stpete.org.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's
For
a
them to
careers.
apply.
There's a careers page, and then the open positions, the vacant positions are highlighted.
Okay. Well, that is incredible. I'm excited to see your ideas for the growth, because we've had, and I talked to some of your staff about this, but we've had Mayor Welch, we've had Chief Holloway as well,
Yes.
and y'all's stories are the same as far as St. Pete is busting. Like
Yes.
it's bustling. There's so many people moving over to that area. So of course you got to keep up. And so how important and how have the relationships been? Because in order to do your job, of course you have to have the support from everybody involved, from the city, from the county, all of those partners. So how do you make these things a reality now that you're in this position?
Right. For me, it's about creating that synergy, and we're all working together instead of pulling away from each other. Right. So Chief Holloway, he doesn't know it, but he has become one of my mentors over the past.
Yeah, we love him.
Yes, since I was promoted, and I've called him on a number of occasions. Hey, Chief, are you going to this? Why not? Yeah, I don't go to that. No, stay away from that. Yeah, I do this, and so I'm gonna probably have to find another one because I think I might be overwhelming. So
I'm sure he
Chief
will.
Holloway be like,
Yeah.
Chief, what, man?
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. He doesn't do
No,
that.
I know.
He don't do that.
But no, it's just about communicating and being real
Right.
about the challenges, right? Having those, just like you do when you're talking about equity and inclusion, having courageous conversations, right?
Yeah.
About, hey, how we going to tackle this,
Do you know what I just realized?
What's that?
St. Pete
It's.
has a black
Listen.
fire chief,
I was about to say it.
a black police chief, a black mayor.
That's a royal flush, isn't it?
What? And we've had all of them are rooted in progress? That is that a first?
I don't know.
I mean,
Certainly a first for St.
That's
Pete,
that's amazing.
well,
lineup.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
a,
like in St. Pete.
that's a historical lineup.
but I don't know.
Wow.
Nationwide.
Yeah, that's a historical lineup.
Wow. I don't know. It just dawned.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm so for
when
real.
you
It
said
just
that,
dawned on
when
me.
you named all of them, that crossed my mind that this is amazing. Like this is
I'm very proud.
Yeah,
I'm actually.
this
I'm trying
is-
not to get them. I'm very proud. I am so proud.
right. Yeah, yeah, very historical moment.
Very.
Let's do
I
it.
don't have words. it just, I think because for me, when I can't even talk on this, I'm about to cry. Wow.
Because you don't understand, like just from the few years that I've been here and
Wow.
to have learned the history of St. Pete, the gas plant district, all that, the now the development of the new Tropicana field and all those families back in the times that have lost their homes and all that, to now have fast forward to today's time and realize that mainly the three heavy hitters in St. Pete are African-American males. Yeah, that's powerful.
It's huge.
For those who are listening right now, Deanne is in tears.
It's only because
Yeah.
when you don't have a black father figure in your life,
Yeah.
but you want so much for black men, and to see three incredible black men doing things that if you were to ask me, would I ever see something like that or live or be able to know and sit down and talk to people who have created a space for that, man,
Yeah.
I would never imagine that.
Well,
I would
and
never.
also the purpose of this podcast and the platform. And again, hats off to WFLA for even giving us this platform.
yeah.
Rooted in progress. And if you just think
Wow.
about those three words, rooted in progress. This is rooted in progress. This is our purpose right here.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Chief. I really realized that in real time. So, okay, let's get to the fun stuff because you
Yeah,
brought some really
yeah.
cool things. So, okay, so we know you're qualified. You're amazing, and St. Pete Fire Rescue is in amazing hands. We need to talk about something that folks probably don't even realize you do on the weekends. Tell them.
So outside the tie and all the medals that you wear on your shirt, let's dive in to see who Keith Watts is.
Here we
Not
go.
Chief Keith Watts, but Keith Watts.
Okay.
What we got?
I'm gonna bring him up forward here.
Oh, whoa. Look at that.
Hold it. Yeah.
What are we looking at? What is this
Yes.
right now?
On Sunday nights
Okay.
in Tampa, I won't say where
Yeah,
at.
don't tell the folks where you be at.
Right,
It's okay.
right.
Yeah. No,
In
yeah.
Tampa, I get my roll on.
Wow.
Man.
And for those who are listening right now, let's describe this scene.
It's a roller skate. It's very big.
Chief Watts just pulled out the old school
Quad roller skates.
Man.
that looks like they are in mint condition.
When did you start this, first of all?
Okay.
How do we get into this?
I started roller skating in like the 7th or 8th grade.
Wow.
And I will tell you, number one, my folks, my mom and dad and my family kept me out of trouble. Roller skating also kept me out of trouble because they knew where I was on the weekends.
Yep.
Friday night, locked in from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
man.
Or was it 11? Locked in. When you get in the skate ring on a Friday night,
Nobody's leaving.
nobody leaving. You might as well pull up
Wow.
a pillow. You never had that?
Yo, we used to do lock-ins all the time.
Lock in, yeah, the skating
At
ring.
the skating ring.
We had it
Lock-in.
at the YMCA. I was
Okay.
at YMCA lock-ins.
The only lock-ins I went to and my mama let me go to was at church. You know, lock in with the Lord, little girl. No, I've never done that, but it sounds like fun.
Yeah, and Saturdays, same thing. Sundays after church, same thing. Yeah.
Come on, get in your roll on. And you still do. We were just talking about the soul roll.
Yes, we were talking about the soul roll now. I haven't been to the soul roll in over a year, and I'm slowly getting my way back into the regular skating.
Tell me
But
about this soul roll.
The soul roll.
Yeah.
Oh, you
That
about to
must
put
be
me
a
on the spot
Tampa
because I
thing.
did do a story with them the last 2 years. I do know. So Chief Watts, he knows our photographer, Joseph Brown.
Yes.
Joseph
Yes.
Brown, to know him, he loves skating.
Get out of here.
and he can skate too.
And I've heard.
Yes.
I've heard he can skate. So the soul roll is basically it's over the weekend, right?
MLK weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
When the Black Heritage Festival is here,
Okay.
throughout different skating rings, skating starts at like midnight and ends at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's like heritage and Black history behind it and with roller skating just in general. So it seems like a lot of people come out. I can tell you that much. A lot of people come out to the soul roll.
Yes.
You gonna be pulling up soon?
People fly in
Yep.
from out of the state,
Wow.
sometimes out of the country,
Oh wow.
to go roller skating.
Is that like a release for you?
It's a huge release
I bet.
because I'm focused on roller skating and focused on what's in front of me at that particular moment
Yeah.
versus the stress of whatever I'm going
Yeah.
through.
And you could do all the tricks and the dancing and the sliding and the.
I used to.
Okay. Yeah. I bet you still got it, Chief. I
do a little one,
bet
too.
you still
I
got
get
it.
a little
Yeah.
something. Little something. Yeah.
You out there with your fire horn
Something.
coming through with your sirens.
All up
Chief,
in the
you ain't
skating
fooling
ring.
me, sir.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Little something,
Probably
something.
gonna
You
bust
out
a
here
move on
like
Saturday.
Usher, like
Yeah.
Usher
Give
rolling
him a
around on
little-
stage.
I can give him a little show
Okay.
There you go.
and then go home.
Look, that's then.
Yeah.
That's, yes,
then
and
go home.
rest.
Yeah, and rest.
You know, I'm gonna tell you. You know, roller skating is a art. Like,
is.
like you better know what you're doing.
And talent.
Yes.
Because that fall is unlike no other.
Oh yeah.
You
And-
fall and bust your tail. Typically, I've seen folks just go over there and take their skates off.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the older, I get, the higher up I seem from to the ground, right? So I'm like
Yeah.
a little bit more cautious these days.
Trying to, you don't
Trying to
wanna
get my
down
roll
there.
on, but still trying to
Yeah,
be
we got to go out
making
there.
sure
Can you roller
I
skate?
know. I can do something, but eventually my back hurts.
Oh.
That's why I never stuck with it, because I would go and like hang out with my friends, but an
Yeah.
hour in, I'm like, see ya.
Yeah,
My back start hurting.
Now, I can rollerblade.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
I can rollerblade.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
That's
not.
not the
I don't.
same.
I think it's a little easier. What do you think?
So
The inline?
inline, yeah.
So there are people that come in inline skate. I call them brave.
Yeah.
But they do a fantastic job of it.
When
Now,
I
I can't do
did skate back in the day, I did.
I can't
inline.
do the backward skating and rollerblades
No.
or roller skates. I don't do all. My goal is just to make it around this ring without busting my tail.
Period. We're
I'm
on
not
the
trying
same
to do
page,
nothing
Sharon.
fancy. Don't give me high five.
Don't even look
don't
at me.
call my name.
Don't touch me.
don't touch me. Don't try to race me. I'm just gonna get around, do me a couple laps, and like Deanne said, I'm about an hour. I'm done.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, because you gotta be in shape to roller skate.
You have to be in shape to roller skate.
So you roller skate. Before we go, any other favorites around the area that you love about Tampa Bay and St. Pete?
You know, like I said, so I don't know if I said this or not, but St. Petersburg reminds me of Savannah.
Really?
Yes, it does remind me of Savannah. The
Okay.
people and some of the traditions and some of the people that I'm engaged with on a regular basis and getting out and doing stuff, you know, the shot with the firefighter. We're getting ready to do that in a couple of Saturdays.
Okay.
And some of the other events that I see a lot of people at. It just reminds me of that, you know, that Savannah feel, that home feel. But not a lot, you know. We do travel.
You like to travel?
My wife and friends, we travel on a regular basis. We do pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
Get up on out of here and take a little trip.
Detach.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
detach.
important.
This has been fun, Chief.
Chief, you
been
made me
real
cry.
fun.
And I'm going to tell everybody about it. I'm going to be like, yo, we had Chief Watts on Rooting Practice and he made me cry.
Yeah.
I do want to share some love, though, in between a lot of these foolish people on here. There is a lot of love. Seems like a really great guy. Gosh, I love that I live in St. Pete. St. Petersburg is lucky to have him. Some other comments that I'm seeing. Congratulations, Chief Keith Watts, on your new position. God bless you. We appreciate what you do for our community. These are just some of the comments that have rolled in while we've been live.
Yeah.
And so I think this community loves you. We are excited, and we're excited for what you're going to do. And we're here for you. We got your back. Whatever you need, you let us know.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir.
I will become a fan and will like, subscribe.
Yeah, there you go.
All of that, right? Toot the horn, the sirens, everything for.
There we go.
Is that a fire truck horn, sir?
There we
That's
go.
it. That's
We
close
love it.
enough.
All right.
Chief Watts, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We
Chief.
appreciate you.
Really appreciate you.
Who, Terrence?
Yeah, what a
Child.
show. What a show.
Get me
So,
out of here.
You know, the one thing, I'm just going to go back to what he said about just being a mentor and giving back to others. So, guys, it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what position you seat in. Seek out, help, guide, love, and just continue to spread joy.
Yeah.
That's it. So
It don't take much.
It doesn't take much. It doesn't hurt. So for all the comments, I'm thinking about some of these comments that are coming into the, like, man, just
Yeah.
you're suffering with something deep down inside, and I pray that you do find love and joy in it, because it doesn't have to. You don't have to spread hate or continue to spread hate. That's a choice.
Yeah.
And so hearing this
That's
story.
I know you're having your moment, but that's a choice.
Yeah.
Y'all do not have to make in these
You don't
comments
have
over
to
the
make any
podcast. You can go
comments.
on and do something else on your
Yeah,
Thursday.
because that
okay?
could be Chief, Chief, I forgot his name.
Chief
Wow,
Watts?
Chief Watts. My gosh, I am getting emotional myself, because Chief Watts and his team may have to come rescue one day.
Yeah.
Come rescue you one day. And so I'm getting it. I'm getting off on my bandwagon, and my horse, and so I'm just a little emotional myself right here, right now. And it's tough. It's tough that we got to deal with this. But anyway, saying all that to say, we thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah. We're back next Thursday, Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yes.
Make sure you join us at 11. We're always live on WFLA.com and the WFLA app. Make sure you like, subscribe, just like Chief Watts is going to do on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We love y'all. Stay rooted.
Take care, guys.